Now we all know that lightning arrow is one of the most popular bow skills in the game. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out, but for a low IQ die-hard casual like myself, it often becomes difficult to figure out what skills are legitimately strong. Now if we all put on our tinfoil condoms here for a second, you would think that this video is about how bad of a skill lightning arrow is. And I'm here to tell you that there's nothing further from the truth than that sentiment, because lightning arrow is objectively one of the best skills in the game. So as you can see here, this is my lightning arrow Deadeye, and as one of the least qualified individuals on the internet to tell you how to play this game, I'm going to give you a quick rundown on how I set up this piece of shit. Not to suck my own cock or toot my own horn here, but I do currently have a whopping 10 divines invested into this endgame build. So for the peasants out there who can't even rub together 2 armor scraps, you're out of luck. The lightning arrow Deadeye is easily one of the fastest builds I've ever played in this game, and that's really as far as the merits go for playing this build. It's an incredibly squishy glass cannon, and contrary to popular belief, I've also managed to make it deal no damage. The first thing you're going to want to do is grab False Vision and Calm Spirit. Since we are currently doubling down on having low survivability and 0 damage, the least we could do is generate some rage so that the build can run even faster. The best part about this combination is that every time you die, you can run back to where you last died fairly quickly in order to die again. As we all know, the most popular endgame loop for the average PoE player is warming up the cold, lonely tile sets in each map by putting our bodies as close to the ground as possible. Now for the body armor, we're going to grab Hiri's Ire. Since we're playing with a Deadeye, everybody knows that we are inherently a dexterity based build. So the reason that we want this item is to get increased chill duration, because as a cold-blooded killer, you gonna need put ice in these veins. And for those of you who don't know, Hiri loosed a barrage of arrows tipped with a poisoned hatred only oppression can ferment. Now I don't know what this actually means, but I felt it might be important for this build guide. Now if we take a closer look at the rings and amulets, you're going to realize that this setup has less thought put into it than the average student puts into picking their major. Here we'll use 2 tamings because Grimro told me to back in patch 3.2, and also equip a Yoke of Suffering because everyone else seems to be using it too. Now you'll notice that I forgot to anoint Vengeant Cascade, and that's an astute observation of which I won't be addressing in this video. Aside from the increased chance to inflict ailments, these items serve as a useful source of elemental resistance when the player is too lazy to craft their own gear. One of my favorite things about this setup is the heavy use of unique items that allows me to ignore important facets of PoE, like learning how to craft my own gear. The best part about that is I can continue blasting T1 maps to farm essences at 0.7 divines an hour while remaining a bow-wielding buffoon. As someone who is chronically allergic to using multiple brain cells simultaneously, the last thing I would want to do is to be pigeonholed into playing the game as the developers intended. Now taking a look at the weapon I have equipped, you'll notice that I have a pretty generic triple LE damage bow that allows me to take advantage of Trinity support on my lightning arrow. Because I don't have the mental capacity to craft this myself, I had a friend of mine just craft one for me instead, since again, I'd really rather not be overexerting my frontal cortex. Given that not a single ounce of effort has been put into making this build so far, let's take a look at the belt and boots I have equipped. Due to some oversight during the initial inception of this build, the current setup actually has an extreme lack of strength and intelligence, both of which are needed to level up the gems used. And as such, I had to go out of my way to craft these bad boys by taking some deafening essences of spite and rage to ensure that I met the minimum attribute requirements needed. Before I started playing with a lightning arrow Deadeye, I actually hated playing PoE. But now that I have a lightning arrow Deadeye set up and fully operational, I now get to hate on PoE on top of having crippling depression. And so the big question here is not even a matter of should you play lightning arrow Deadeye, but rather should you even play PoE? In fact, it might even be bigger than that. Why are we here? What is the meaning of life? And what exactly does Joe Biden want from us? So yeah, I hope that my arguments in this extremely political debate have convinced you to play lightning arrow Deadeye. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you all next time.